Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is Adrian. You may know me by Rolex, Love Due to Barcode. It doesn't matter, but if you're new, Adrian is fine. But today I was gonna be talking about, how it was growing up and how it affects me now. Being overweight, unattractive, ugly, fat. It doesn't matter, but that's what I'm gonna be talking about. It's gonna be real. Like it's not gonna be edited. I'm just gonna be talking, no cuts, anything like that. So if it's a little bit long, I do apologize, but I'm just gonna be real raw with it. But yeah. Also, I don't know if anyone will ever even see this, but if you do, I thank you for watching the video. And if no one ever does, that's completely fine with me. So let's go ahead and just get started with it. Um, I'm 19 currently. I live in New Mexico, but I'm gonna go ahead and start from when I was younger. So let's go ahead and go to elementary school. When I was in elementary school, I was still like pretty chubby and stuff, but I was a kid, so I didn't really care, right? It wasn't a big deal. Um, I was just me. I was just being a kid, I guess, so it wasn't a big deal. But even back then, like I really noticed how people treated me differently, but it wasn't a big deal because, like I said, I was a kid, so. But like everyone was always faster than me, more athletic than me as a kid. They would climb on like all the gym sets and all that type of stuff. And when we'd have PE and all that type of things, I would get tired a little faster. I always played sports throughout all of school, so it's not like I wasn't active, but I just ate a lot when I was a kid. So it really, a lot of junk food, and it really affected me. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this from the beginning. This isn't for like pity or for you guys to feel bad about or for me or anything like that. I'm just kind of showing you or telling you how my side of it and how it affected me, my view of things. So, nothing like that, just real informational. But yeah. Also, I'll go ahead and say I've never been like bullied or anything like that. Like I always had a lot of friends and stuff throughout in my entire time in school. But I just wanted to point that out so like no one else like thought that or anything like that. But throughout school, like elementary, like I said, I was like not as active or healthy as some of the kids. Like I was real chubby, and it was like that throughout from kindergarten to fifth for as long as I can remember, and it didn't really affect me too much because I didn't care back then. But once I switched to like middle school, everyone was getting a little older. We could start telling differences. I was still playing sports in middle school. I played baseball, football, all those good things, but that's when I really started seeing a difference in the way like people look at you. Um, you know how I don't know. I guess you just kind of get treated different. Like comments they make. Like here's a common thing. Like I just noticed me personally. Like I know it's a joke. That my friends would say and stuff. Like say we're talking about like fighting, right? They'll be like, oh, he'll just like sit on you because he's bad. Like that's just like one of them. Or if there was a killer after us, we only have to outrun, Adrian because, he's the bigger guy, like stuff like that. Just little comments like that. I'm sure there's so many that I've noticed over the years, but those are just like examples. But yeah, I heard like things like that a lot, and they weren't like a big deal. I know they were my friends were just joking and stuff, but over years I heard it more and more and more, and it just like started clicking and stuff. And even growing up, like my nickname was Jello. Like my one of my names I go by is Angelo as well. It's my first name. Adrian's my middle name, but Angelo. And it could be Angelo, Jello, but I always think it as Jello because I was fat, right? So I never liked that name, but I was called that my entire childhood. So I'd go by Adrian now. Um, let's see. So once I got into middle school, like sixth, seventh, eighth grade, I definitely seen a big jump in weight from elementary school. Maybe because I was going through puberty, but I was definitely bigger than the rest of the kids, right? Um, and it was a big deal. Like I tried to play sports to get the weight off, but I was just eating too much junk food. Like because that's just how I was raised. Like there was just a lot of junk food around, and like no one was really cooking it at first because I only had a dad at the time. I mean, my mom was alive, but she didn't live with me. So I was living with my dad, and there's a lot of junk food around. So I would eat a lot of that, and it just kind of stuck on me. And I was overweight throughout middle school, elementary, and then high school. But you know, in middle school, I started liking girls a lot more than I did in elementary, obviously. So I've never really had a problem with talking to girls. I've talked to plenty of girls over the years. but like none of them ever seemed to want to date. Like I flirted with plenty of girls and like that stuff, but in middle school it was really hard to like find a girlfriend when I was seeing like all these people around me, get girlfriends and just like couples. And I tried, I talked to girls, we talked to, texted, called, whatever, flirted, but nothing ever really seemed to like stick. And um, it seemed really common that people would get picked over me. So like that kind of fucked with my confidence a little bit when I was in middle school. And I always tried to do my best to like make up for the weight. Like even now, like whether it's dressing right, just personality wise. I might be talking a little low or monotone right now, but I'm real outspoken, I guess, kind of. Most of the time, I'm a little quiet, but I don't put like negative energy out into the world. If that's what you guys are thinking, I'm real positive towards other people and just try to push them to do their best. So it's not like I'm a negative person. Even back then, I always try to push people to do better and help them if I can. But anyways, um, so like I was saying, like I really try to do my best to make up for my weight, whether it was dressing right or fitting trends, that like other people were doing, like hairstyles, clothing brands. It doesn't matter, but I was just trying my doing my best to fit in to make up for the weight. Um, and I'm gonna be honest, there was like a lack of attention that I would get from people. So I noticed very early on that I would try to do stupid shit in class or just whenever to get that attention, and it really like backfired in like high school. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking about middle school for a bit. Um, So, like I said, I was trying to do anything for attention. I would like make scenes. I would try to be like the class clown. I was even doing that in elementary school just because I liked the attention. And then I transferred to middle school, and I would do stupid stuff. I would get written up. I would really try to fit in. I don't like this term popular, but all my friends were pretty popular. Like, I mean, to be honest, in school, I never felt like it was like that. Like there were certain groups of people that were only friends and stuff like that. I was personally friends with everyone. Sports kids, the swag kids. I don't like that term either, but the nerds, like music kids. It doesn't matter. I was friends with everyone. But like I was saying, what was I saying? Sorry. But I was trying to make like goofy things and like trying to fit everyone, or I was trying to be liked by everyone, to be honest. So I wanted the most attention that I could get, and I got suspended a lot. I was pretty a bad kid, to be honest. And so once I went to high school, it kind of was the same, but obviously I was growing up a little bit, and I wasn't as big of a class clown. It was more like I didn't care. I stopped caring about my grades. I really would let them slip, and I started just focusing on other things. But kind of going a little fast, so I'm gonna slow down. But so when I went into high school, I was still doing the simple things like trying to dress how other people were dressing, fitting trends, certain brands, like Yeezys, like Supreme. I was trying to be like a hype beast kind of for a while, and I just really wanted to fit in. And even then, I still had a lot of friends. Never was bullied or anything like that. Always had a lot of friends. Friends were always great to me, but that's when I really started to see a difference in like how I was treated a little differently than them. Like, I wouldn't get invited to certain things. I mean, I've been to like parties and stuff like that. That's not a big deal, but just certain things like when they would hang out or like, um, I would jump from like group to group, kind of like hanging out with, like at lunch or something. I would say like sometimes I hang out with like the basketball kids or the football kids, just things like that, which was never a big deal to me. Like it never like mentally affected me, but I noticed that now, and yeah, I actually had a lot of good friends in high school, so that's not a big deal either. I was never really an outcast, I should say, but um, little things over the years kind of fucked with my confidence, I guess. I would say, especially with like girls, um, like even through high school, I would say I talked to less of girls than I did in like middle school because I really stopped caring about things because I don't know, I don't know, I guess I started really feeling depressed. Early on, I would say late eighth grade to be honest, before I even went to high school I started feeling that way, but yeah, by the time I got to high school I was like already feeling depressed and I stopped, going to class as much, really feeling really down, and it was basically because I really felt like I was unwanted. Like, I know I had friends and family that cared, right? But I just felt really unwanted, and I just wanted to feel wanted. So um, that really messed with me. So I kind of started secluding myself and being an introvert, stopped going to classes. I really got into video games at the time. I mean, I had been playing games my whole life, but like I stopped going to school to play more video games because I felt like, I don't know, I felt more alive, or I don't know the term, but like I just felt like I was me when I was playing games, talking to people online and playing games. Like I just felt like I was me, and I really liked that. So I stopped, going to school as much, and my grades ended up slipping, and you know, it was such a stupid choice to not finish high school. But like it is what it is. I did end up trying online classes like junior year and stuff. Didn't work out, dropped out and stuff. So I did not finish that. I'll go into like me finishing stuff later. But yeah, I really throughout high school was getting more and more depressed. I was being like, I didn't care about anything. I really, really did not care about anything. But it's mostly just because I had no self confidence in myself, and I hated others looking at me the way I look at myself. So, I just stopped going, and I really got into this online kind of world. But like my confidence was just like shot at the time. Like I was like really, like I'm pretty heavy still, but like I was really heavy then compared to the other kids, and like no matter what I did, no brands or dressing or anything like that would make me feel better, to be honest. So at that point, I was like, whatever, fuck it, I'm just gonna not go anymore. So, like I said, I stopped going. Um, I really got into the gaming world, right? Like I said, I felt like better, so I started playing more and more. And to be honest, that only worsened my depression because I'd never seen anyone anymore. Like no friends. I mean, I still use social media and stuff and talk to them on there, but it wasn't as constant, the daily human interaction, and it really, really fucked with me. Um, my depression just kept getting worse and worse. I hadn't talked to a girl in a while, and you know, uh, for like I would say like sophomore and junior year, I didn't talk to any girls, but I didn't like notice. It just like didn't happen. I didn't like reach out, which is my fault, definitely. I didn't say anything to any of the girls that I wanted to talk to because I was just my confidence was so shot, right? So I really stopped trying to reach out, to make new friends, meet new people, talk to new girls, stuff like that. But um, yeah, so like once I started getting online and stuff more, I my depression really shot to the roof, and it's just my room was really dark all the time. I was just on the game 24/7, sleep, only eat, leave my room to like shower and go to the bathroom, and that was it. Like it was really, really depressing, and I understand like that was terrible. What's it called? It was just like a terrible thing to do. So I definitely do regret that. But I actually met a lot of great people online over the years, different games that I played and stuff like that. But I ended up playing so many games and like losing like all my real friends online. I mean, I have them again now because I started hitting them up. But back then, a couple years ago, I really lost everyone around me. I barely talked to anyone else in the house. My sister, my dad, and my mom. Like, I never really talked to anyone. So, it got really bad where I was not talking to anyone and it was really secluded. So, but since I was online all the time, I met a whole another group of friends, obviously, that I would play with every day. We get close and stuff over the years, but then obviously anyone you meet online is gonna drop off eventually, right? So I met groups of people, every couple of years, made new friends, and then switched games or whatever, and had to make a whole new another group of friends, and like it was just like a cycle like that. So I never had like really any like stability and stuff. So basically my depression was growing. I was only leaving the room to eat and stuff, and I was eating really bad, like fast food every single day, night, like it was terrible. And like that was the point when I like was like, damn, I like really fucked up, and people started telling me I fucked up, like my parents and stuff. Like they were never really strict with me in high school or like anything like that, so they didn't. I mean, they tried. They tried to push me to like go to school and stuff, but I really did not care. So, but then I really noticed like, damn, I fucked up by not finishing, and I guess just losing the interaction with people. But yeah, I really noticed my depression was getting bad, and all I did was play more video games to try and make up for it, which did not help. But I ended up meeting someone online, um, a girl, I guess you could say. So like, um, once you start playing with someone, like a guy or a girl, like you start getting attached, whether you're friends or not. But we started talking, and we started dating like online. So it was the first one that I had talked to in a while. I'm not gonna like name drop her or anything, but yeah, like it went pretty good for a couple months and stuff. But like I mean, it was online. It was never anything physical. So playing video games wasn't like a huge help to my mental. And then it was actually pretty toxic, if I'm being honest. She was really like toxic to me in a way. Like she would always argue with me and stuff like that. So like going from like being depressed to like a toxic relationship, like it helped a little bit, but at the end it like really just messed me up more. So by the time that relationship ended, it was worse. My depression was worse, and then also breaking up added on to the depression, right? So like it was just all these things kind of adding up over the years, and my depression just kept getting worse and worse, and I kept getting more secluded and stopped caring about more things, especially myself. I did not care about myself at all. I stopped caring how I dressed. I stopped caring about the things I had. I really only cared about like video games, I guess you could say that, but I didn't even really care about that anymore. I just played those because I had, momentarily fun, and I didn't really feel like doing anything else. Um, so then I really started getting into the, I started getting onto like Twitter. There's a whole like vast community of Twitter people, like, so I started getting into Twitter, and I got into like the gaming community and the anime community. I really like anime. Like I got like a tattoo. I got a Naruto poster right there, but yeah, I really like anime, and so I started getting into those communities, right? And I met someone there, another person. So this is my second relationship online and last, because I was not gonna waste more time doing that. But anyways, this one went for a long time, and we actually ended up meeting, but it didn't work out. But anyways, um, so I got into the Twitter community. I ended up actually growing a pretty decent following, and like I made a lot of cool friends on there. I really do suggest you guys make a Twitter account and join a community if you want to. There's just so many cool people on there to meet, but it's up to you. Anyways, so I started feeling a little better, to be honest. I really like jumped into the Twitter community, and I felt like I would like fit in, right? But here's the thing. My confidence was so low in myself, and I just felt so ugly, unattractive, and just depressed. I like said I was someone else when I first got on Twitter. It was only a couple months, but still, um, I lied about who I was. I actually did that on the before, like in the gaming as well. So I was like 16 at the time. So I was a little younger, but 16, 17ish. But still, I was old enough to like really know not to do this. So like, oh, hit my watch on the table. But um, yeah, I lied about who I was, and told people I was someone else, and you know that was such a shitty thing to do, like lying to like people, like my friends and stuff like that. And eventually it came out that I told everyone I was lying, but still, like that was such a bad thing to do. But my confidence was so low that I didn't care anymore, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just lie. And the difference I saw in people, man, like from being someone unattractive to being someone attractive, like the way they treat you or talk about you, like it's such a huge like shock to me. And I definitely regret it, but it was like, wow, like the difference like that I seen, it was crazy. But anyways, so my confidence went up a little bit. I started talking to more people, more girls and stuff. This was before I met the second girl in the relationship, but um yeah, I mean, obviously I was lying, so it wasn't me. But yeah, I ended up growing a pretty decent following on there, and I had like a community and friends like around me basically all the time. But eventually I did meet that second girl, and I was talking to her. She didn't know it was me. And then a couple months in, I decided to tell her, and she still accepted me. So that was great. Like, I felt so relieved that she still wanted to like be with me after that, and it was just such a great feeling. And then a couple months went by, and she told me she was like talking to her friend, her best friend, like sexually and stuff. So like that kind of like shot like deep to me, and I kind of lost a little bit of feelings for her because it was online. We never met in person before that, and the feelings were just online at that point. And her telling me that she was talking to her friend that way, kind of fucked with me. We were dating for like 6 or so months after that, or before that, sorry. And then I kind of lost feelings for her, and then I started talking to some others as well while we were together. So that's a very shitty thing for me to do, and I've reflected so much since then, like because of that. So much happened. So I talked to others online as well, never in person, but you know, we decided to end up meeting. And while she was with me, she flew out and stuff. I flew her out, and then she had seen on my it was Discord. She got on my computer to play a game, and she opened my Discord and seen. So like there was like all these people that I was talking to, and like she was like really upset and crying, wanted to go home and stuff. She even bought a plane ticket the next day to leave, but ended up staying the rest of the trip. But anyways, she posted on Twitter about everything going on, and like my whole community following everything. Like I lost thousands in a day. There was posts like making fun of me, making fun of my weight and stuff with the pictures I posted with her on the trip, and like it was really bad. Like there was so much hate because I lied about who I was, and then I still ended up talking to other people, even though she did kind of first. But like, it was just I was so shitty. I really fucked up in that situation. But what's it called? So anyways, we ended up she ended up posting that, and like I lost like the community. No one on like Twitter fucked with me no more at all. That was for a long time. So um, eventually, or not eventually, like a week after the trip, we ended up actually breaking up. And after that, it was all downhill. So I was getting thousands of people hating on me. Like it was pretty bad, and that just made my depression even worse. Because we just broke up, and then I got all these people hating on me that I thought were friends. They're all switching up and posting these threads about me and really shit talking me, and it hurt a lot. So that was probably the hardest time in my life. If I'm being honest. This was around um 11 months ago, so the beginning of or the end of 2019. Sorry. So I met her in the beginning of 2019, broke up like at the end of 2019. Anyways, that was a great relationship. Like in my opinion, there wasn't too much toxicity and stuff like that. The trip we had was amazing and stuff, but it didn't work out. We ended up breaking up. Um, so yeah, that's how that went. And it took me a long time to get back into the Twitter community. Like, and even like even like a year after. Well, not a year because it's been 11 months, like I said, but like 8, 9 months after everything happened, like people were still coming at me. Like I had an even bigger following at that point, but thousands of people knew about it, and they were still coming at me on this hate train, trying to cancel me. And that just made it worse. I would say a couple months after we broke up, I started like secluding myself again, playing video games, stopped going to classes and stuff, and I started self-harming. And that's when that started, was because of that. And I just felt super depressed for a long time at that point, and so I started self-harming a lot actually, and I just felt like I was lost, and I had no one around me, um, no family, no friends, no one, everyone hated me. I felt like such a failure in life, and it got really bad. So I was like that for months, and it just kept getting worse and worse to like June this year. It's November. Oh, my bad. October 29th at the moment. So this was in June. I tried to take my own life. I took a bunch of pills and stuff. So everything just kept stacking up over the years, and it just really hit me on that day, like hard. Um, so I tried to take my own life, and obviously I failed. But after that, my family and like friends and stuff, like they try to be like a little more there for me and stuff. But it nothing really changed, if I'm being honest. I started going to therapy and taking antidepressants, and none of that really helped, if I'm being honest. Like, nothing helped. And um, at this point, I kept feeling lost. Just lying, saying I'm okay all the time. And, um, I mean, if you guys have ever been like sad or anything, obviously you tell people you're fine because you don't want to bother people with your emotions or anything like that. So, you know, you just say you're okay. And I did that for years and years, and um, it just was never okay. I was never okay, and I needed help. And even when I got help, it did not help me, if I'm being honest. So, I started, and anyone saying, I'm not that bad looking, if you even are, I'm doing my best to look the best right now. Maybe saying I'm not that big, I am pretty big. I'll stand up when I'm done talking, but yeah. Anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, nothing got better with therapy or antidepressants or anything like that. So that is what it is. I stopped going, stopped taking them, and to be honest, I actually felt a little better once I stopped taking them and going, if I'm being honest. So you know, that's great. I'm happier now, definitely. That's kind of why I'm making this video. But this was like 5, 6 months ago. Yeah, so around like 4 or 5 months ago, actually. This is when this happened. After that, I just really started trying to work on myself to try to be happy because I don't want to die, obviously. But I hit that lowest point in my life was trying to take my life, after self harming for so long and secluding myself and being depressed and just, wanting to be alone, wanting to be dead, to be honest. And, maybe everything I've talked about doesn't make sense to why I would try to do that, but like, I'm telling you guys, my mental was so bad and my depression was so bad, and I was just no confidence at all. So, it led up to that, and I felt terrible. So, um, yeah, so since then, I have tried to better myself, even after I stopped going to therapy and taking the meds. Working out. I work out, like, lift every single day mostly. But, I try to do my best, learning new skills. I'm actually a trader, entrepreneur, so that's what I do. Learning other things that I do, whether it's, cooking, whatever I do, anything like that. I got into cars. Um, I stopped playing as much video games for sure. I don't even remember the last time I played. It's been weeks. So, weeks, months, whatever, but I don't do that anymore. Started branching out more to real people and stuff, going out, finding new friends. I got a team of people that I'm with that like trade and stuff, so that's great. I always got support. That's what really made a difference in my life, to be honest, was um, just having support all the time and like a positive surrounding. So like having a positive surrounding is the only thing that ever made me feel better. Having friends that were real positive and not being in a negative space. So and then I started feeling better about myself. I started feeling more positive. I started doing like affirmations. I have my whiteboard back there. I have another one, but it's not up right here to my right. Put it over there to the left, but it's bigger. I write stuff like that on it. Affirmations, goals, anything like that. But yeah, I just started being more positive as a person. Started talking to family more. Started talking to friends more. Posting more about social media. Talking to people in real life when I go out. That's what really helped me, if I'm being honest, with confidence wise. And I'm starting to go to the gym more and like lose weight. I've tried to get surgeries to lose weight as well. I got denied, unfortunately, but just gotta hit the gym and get back to it. Which I've tried many times over the years to, lose weight in the gym, but I fall off. So I'm gonna just, I mean, now we're here, we're in present times, so I'm still not too confident in myself. I really, for the longest time, depended on other people to make me happy, which is a terrible thing to do. So, um, you know, it's all about building your surrounding and your inner confidence and the positivity in your life. Whether you're positive to yourself, whether other people are positive to you, that's all that really counts. So, yeah, so like over the years, like I said, my confidence and my depression, the confidence got worse and my depression got worse. To the point where I started self harming and to the point where I tried to, take my own life. And like this is just years and years in the making. So, I'm trying to do my best with it now, you know, still trying to fit in with like dressing and, designer stuff, I guess you could say. But I guess that's it. I try to get everything that other people get, I guess, so that, I feel a little bit more confident. Whether it's trends over the years like curly hair, getting piercings, tattoos, certain clothing, certain shoes, like chains. Like recently, I painted my nails before. They're not right now, but I've just done like everything to try to like feel better about myself and kind of fit in with others. So, maybe that'll stop one day when I feel more confident. But until then, that definitely helps with me personally. So, um, hopefully, um, you know, anyone. I don't know if you guys could have seen that on my screen or not, but if you did, it doesn't matter. Um, I hope, me talking about this, I guess, kind of showed you how it was for me personally. Like, I was never bullied or anything. Obviously, people have definitely got it worse than me. I was never bullied. I had a pretty decent like childhood growing up, but it was mostly just feeling alone and secluded and depressed and just unwanted and unloved that really like fucked with me my whole life to the point like where I wanted to take it. And obviously I still get sad sometimes like that, but I'm trying to do my best. Like, yeah. So I appreciate anyone that hopped on this to listen. If you even listened this long, I kind of rambled. I don't even know if I talked about the points I wanted to talk about, but it is what it is. If no one even listens to this ever, that's completely fine for me. But yeah, I'm glad that I made this video. I am doing better, or I'm trying to do at least. So, yeah, I really hope you guys have a good rest 2020. And I just hit my mic, so I'm sure you heard that. But I hope you have a good rest of 2020 and a great 2021. So, thank you all for watching, and